Hello and welcome to another edition of CaribDirect's Headline News. June 2021 was not a typical month welcoming the summertime in the Caribbean, but rather we joined the world trying to encourage communities to get the COVID-19 vaccine and at the same time focus on our largely dependent economies of travel and agriculture. Here's a bulletin of some of the news that made the headlines. 2 months after the devastating eruption of the Le Soufrière volcano, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, addressed a donor roundtable discussion hosted by UN partners to update on support to the ongoing humanitarian and recovery response and to ramp up support for unfunded sectors under the $29.2 million UN funding appeal as the country transitions towards recovery. He noted, "We really have two countries at the moment." A UN representative voiced concern that the island's vulnerability can be exacerbated in the coming months during this hurricane season if the unfunded needs are not covered. St. Lucia's Nina Compton, who fascinated the United States on this season's Top Chef, is leaving Scarpetta at the Fontainebleau, Miami Beach. Although Compton didn't win the competition, she came in a close second and won the coveted fan favorite title. A Little Bird says Chef Nina and Shirley Chung are musing over a hypothetical restaurant. Which Caribbean island do you think they should choose to make it real? CaribDirect columnist Amanda Alexander puts you on the path to your yellow brick road and guides you to the 10 steps of emotional mastery. It's Pride Month and a time when the world comes together to celebrate the acceptance of sexual diversity. However, in the Caribbean, celebration is regarded as being not as receptive as the rest of the world. The history of the Pride movement started on a hot summer's night in New York on June 28, 1969, when police raided the Stonewall Inn, a gay club in Greenwich Village, and a riot began. Among the many leaders of the riots was a black trans bisexual woman, Marsha P. Johnson, leading the movement to continue over 6 days with protests and clashes.
Why are you here today?
Darling, I want my gay rights now!
Protesters demanded the establishment of places where LGBTQ people could go and be open about their sexual orientation without fear of arrest. During the Universal Periodic Review of St. Lucia and St. Kitts and Nevis's human rights records in 2020, the United Nations Human Rights Council stated serious concern over the nation's laws that criminalize same-sex sexual conduct in violation of international human rights law. However, Puerto Ricans pride themselves on being the LGBTQ capital of the Caribbean. The first Puerto Rican Pride took place in San Juan in 1990 when a group of men and women bravely marched down Ashford Avenue in front of hundreds of people. This first march was a celebration to honor those who had died during the AIDS epidemic in the 1980s, but also to express outrage against police persecution and regulations meant to silence the community. The emphasis on Pride Month and its festivals may be fun, but it may also be a time for the Caribbean to discuss issues related to the gay rights movement, from gay marriage and adoption to transgender rights. David Jessup, the author of The View from Europe, believes that Guyana and Suriname are about to experience levels of development most countries can only dream about. Jessup believes that what is lacking is any debate about where further finds might lead and what the environmental, economic, and geopolitical implications might be. He writes that it is not often that well-resourced and politically powerful companies such as ExxonMobil and Shell suffer historic defeats. However, last month, in different ways, both oil majors saw activist shareholders and environmentalists cause them and the international energy sector to have to think hard about what the future holds for hydrocarbons. An in-depth account can be found on CaribDirect.com. It's time to make your voice heard. The Black British Voices project needs your help to define what it means to be black in today's Britain.
Black British Voices project is the first of its kind. It's a project that reaches out to black communities and it allows them the autonomy to speak for themselves and define themselves for themselves.
The project's aim is to capture the essence of the black community through the eyes of individuals, regardless of age, profession, or lifestyle. The data gathered from the survey will help make decisions in many important areas like education, national policies, healthcare, and media.
So what we're looking forward to is to get together that strong, reliable, authentic data set that we can use to prompt change, we can use to prompt policy, and we can use for further research down the line.
This is a great opportunity to share your experience. Your voice matters. Take the survey and let your voice be heard. Jamaican sprinter Shelly Ann FraserPrice has become the second fastest female 100-meter sprinter in history, winning the JAA Olympic Destiny Series meet in Kingston, Jamaica, earlier this month. With a sensational time of 10.63, Jamaica's two-time Olympic and 9-time world gold medalist clapped her hands in celebration. Natasha Morrison finished second in 10.95. The fastest time in almost 33 years, only Florence Griffith Joyner has ever gone quicker in 1988, with her world record of 10.49 and runs of 10.61 and 10.62. FraserPrice is on track for a third Olympic gold in Tokyo later this year. Caribbean patois is so much fun, especially when it takes on different meanings. A good example of this is the phrase wash belly, which is commonly used to describe the youngest child in a family, but sometimes, maybe understandably, to those of us with siblings, the same phrase can mean lazy or spoiled. It may seem rude, but it's mostly used affectionately, or at least that's what the youngest child is always told. Here's a great example of wash belly being fun by YouTuber Cadian, and her guest will introduce herself. Listen up.
Tonight I am here with my
Wash belly.
and we are gonna be playing song association.
The next word is deep.
Deep in my soul.
Deep. There's a fire.
Running in my head.
No, that's not the lyrics. Rolling in the deep.
You caught my heart on fire.
That's not the lyrics. Next.
Which patois terms do you use that you often have to explain to others? Leave your answers in the comment section below. This has been the June edition of CaribDirect Headline News. We hope you have enjoyed our selection. Visit CaribDirect.com for your daily Caribbean news and to sign up for our newsletter. Don't forget to send us your patois terms so we can end our newscast with another laugh next month. Until then, I'm Delia Dolor. Keep safe. Goodbye.